guys, so I'm super excited about today's video. If you're a small business owner and you've been trying to figure out how to maintain your business for the rest of this pandemic, you're definitely going to want to tune in. I'm chatting with Samantha Tyson, the owner of Inner Beauty Hair and Makeup Bar, and we're just talking about how she's been able to transition her business from what she was doing before and how she's kind of made it work in this new world that we're living in with COVID-19. So if you want to know more, tune in. Okay. Hi guys, it's Brittany with All Day Britney, and I'm chatting today with Samantha Tyson of Inner Beauty Hair and Makeup Bar. And so we're just talking about Sam's business and how she's been able to pivot with the pandemic. I know a lot of small businesses have had to try to figure out how to kind of make things work with the shutdowns and with, the introduction of like masks and all these different protocols that we now have to keep in place. So I really wanted to chat with a small business owner to see kind of how you're doing and how you're making it work. So thank you, Samantha, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So I guess we'll just kind of jump right in. So how long had you had your salon before everything kind of popped off with the pandemic?
Since July of 2018.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So not super, super long. Yeah.
No, not at all.
And what made you decide to get into hair and makeup in the first place?
So it's actually kind of funny because when you're in high school, you can do like the cosmetology type of like credits or school.
Mhm.
Girl, they denied me. So I was just like, oh, I guess it ain't meant to be. Because I'm always like doing hair. And then, I graduated, went to the military. And then, I was just like, I was in Germany and I was getting all depressed. I said, okay, this ain't working for me. Because hubby was deployed. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, YouTube, what is this? Watching makeup, watching hair. And I was just like, oh, I like this. And then it was like, okay, I'm the military. I want to get out and do this and make it feel pretty. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I love that because that's another big thing too, basically being able to make a business out of something that you enjoy. Because a lot of us, like, day jobs they're awesome because they put food on the table, but they're not necessarily what we enjoy, doing. So we love that as well. Yeah, that's important. Okay, so everything shut down in, I think, April, right? End of.
I would say it happened in March for us in Oklahoma. They shut down like late March, yeah.
Got you. So we have the shutdown. Everybody's got to shelter in place, hunker down. And then I know a few weeks later, we were able to open back up some businesses. So kind of take me through, at what point did you decide to transition to the virtual?
So this is the thing. I've always wanted to do virtual consulting, but since I was already in the salon, I was just like, oh no, I'm just going to keep on pushing it back. But then it took for the pandemic to happen. And I was just like, okay, nobody really understands how this virus works, anything like that. I'm pregnant. I was like, you know what, maybe this is the time for me to go ahead and start transitioning now and just, moving over to doing virtual consulting versus still trying to let people in and being around everybody. Because the crazy thing is, we didn't get to open back up until like middle of May for the salons and stuff because we had to keep pushing for that. And I was just like, okay, we have to do something because we need to make some money. Right. So that's just where it all started. And I was just like, okay, I think we're just going to start maternity leave early and just intermix with doing virtual consulting with that as well.
Got you. So transitioning to virtual consulting, what exactly does that process look like? Like, how did you notify your clients? How did that change the way you do business?
So pretty much how the transition and everything went. So pretty much virtual consulting could be for anybody. Like if I'm in Oklahoma, you're in Cali, I could still be able to service you. Because the biggest thing is just knowing like realistically, what are you wanting with your hair? And I do a discovery call and everything. I ask a bunch of questions and then we go over, okay, well, this is what you should do, this and that. This is how it should be. Send hair products. Like I even broke down different packages because some people were just like, I just want to know how my hair works because some people just prefer to do their hair themselves. And I was like, people like that should still be able to have an option. And then those were just like, I just need you to give me a hair routine or I just need hair products. So I was like, okay, I've talk to different clients like this. So these are the different packages that we can do. So it was really just building a website and just putting it out there to clients. Hey, leaving sooner than normal, but I can still offer you this so that you can still have that one-on-one time with me.
Absolutely. And the website looks fabulous, by the way, too.
Thank you.
Yes. And so did you have any like concerns, or were there any worries for you in kind of making this transition?
I think my biggest concern was just the fact that, once clients get used to something and
Yeah.
when you just change it, they're just like, what's going on, homegirl? And then you have some other ones, they were still scared to come back to the salon. So
Yeah.
that was still money that was lost. So it's just like, what can I do to where I can still cater to everybody and be personable with them, but we don't have to be in the same room. So I would say that was kind of one of the biggest struggle, just trying to still let them know that I still care. We just can't be that close.
Got you. Of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
I still care, but from 6 feet away. At least. So are there any surprising like advantages or things that have, I guess, made it better for you that you didn't really consider or didn't really expect making the transition?
I think some advantages, honestly, just being able to be home more.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it, when I was working in the salon, it wasn't, a set 9 to 5 ever. It could be, 10 to 2, or you're in there until like 8 o'clock at night. So the fact that I'm able to give my family more of that time, more of me, I really feel like that's the biggest thing, because I really struggle with that balance. And now that I actually have that balance, since I have to be home, I'm like, okay, this works a lot better. I just need somebody to put me in my place a little bit, know?
Yeah, that sounds good. And I imagine it's pretty cool too, because you mentioned just a few minutes ago about being able to like reach people in California. I think that's pretty cool, because as a brick and mortar stylist, you're just chatting and you're just working with people just like right here. But now that you're virtual, this like opens up a whole new kind of experience for you, which is pretty awesome.
Exactly. And like, you can even understand too, being a military family, when you're moving so much and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know how you get comfortable with people, and it's like, dang, I gotta start all over again. For
Yeah.
those certain people, are like, oh, I can still reach out to her, I can still get what I need, blah blah blah, and go from there.
Yeah,
Because that transition can be hard,
for
definitely when we do
sure.
every 2 to 3 years.
That is, yes, that is like the biggest thing. That's the first thing. You got to find housing, and then, okay, who is going to do my hair? Because you can't trust
Exactly.
everybody. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right, cool. And let's see. So, do you see this as more being kind of like a long-term thing that you want to do, or do you think you'll transition back into the brick and mortar route after we can be around people without the masks?
So I've thought about that a lot. And to be honest, I don't think any hairstylist wants to forever be behind the chair. You
Yeah.
want to have some type of growth.
Okay.
But for me, I do still want to have a brick and mortar. I would love to do hair on certain days, but my thing is to evolve and be able to offer more. And I just see this as just like another door, something else just to offer in my business of what I'm already doing. So
Gotcha.
some days I can still do virtual consulting for my clients that are across the country. And then the ones that are actually in the same city as me and do hair, that would be great. But my goal is just to keep on evolving. Girl, standing up 10 hours a day, that ain't kicking it anymore.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. That's hard. That's hard on your body for sure.
it is, and I've definitely felt it, because I'm always like, oh, go, 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 go. Now
Yeah.
since I'm home, I'm like, oh, child, I got a cramp in my hip, and yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah. I'll bet. Yeah. And I love what you said too about basically growing and changing and evolving, because that's what a good business does. I feel like you're not going to always look like you did a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. You got to change with the time to keep up. So that's awesome. And so what would you say to other small business owners? Because one of the reasons I wanted to do this interview is because a lot of the information that I found online was geared towards, I guess, small business is a very like broad term. So it was geared towards like people that are making like $300,000 and $400,000 and $500,000 a year. To me, that's not a small business.
Thank you. And chain restaurants, how is that a small business? Just independently owned, it's still a chain.
Exactly. So their set of tips and advice and tricks is going to look way different than a true, small business who's like making it happen for herself. So what tips do you have for someone that is, like you?
I'm going to be honest. When this pandemic hit, I still don't really know how we could even be better in the future if something like this was to happen again.
For
And
sure.
that's just being completely honest. Because when me and you think small business, we're thinking family owned, one
Yeah.
person owned, things like that.
Mhm.
So when you have that, we put everything into our businesses. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm McDonald's or whatever. We still have 200,000 or whatever saved away.
Mhm.
It's not like that for us. And
Mhm.
it's very hard because, as you know, too, even when they came out with the business loans and stuff like that, like the
Yeah.
forgivable loans, honey, Yeezy, all them got all the money. And
That
I'm
was
just
a
like,
hot
oh,
mess.
yeah, I'm like, well, what about the ones who are really struggling? Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, like we talked about before, landlords still wanted their money. People still wanted you to pay their bills. Oh, yeah, we're here for you. We're going to work with you. Okay, so what can you do to help me? Oh, we could take $10 off. Okay, $10 off isn't helping me
Right.
when I'm not making any money.
Exactly.
So
I know.
it's hard to really have an answer to say, to be, how can I be pandemic proof? Because honestly, I just went off of the faith of God, because I was like, I know you're going to make a way. You have to.
Yeah.
Because even with unemployment too,
Mhm.
did that back in March. I'm just now receiving some funds a few weeks ago. Like,
Wow.
that's scary.
Yeah.
And I hate to keep on saying it too, but it really brings you back. Thank God we have a partner in the military family to where we actually have a house and their pay doesn't stop. Because what about those who really do? This is all they have. This is all they
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
People are really struggling going to, the food closets and stuff like that, trying to get food. And I'm just like, that could be us.
Yeah.
So it could definitely be worse, but I don't even have any tips. All I can say is we really just have to go day by day to see
Yeah.
what we can actually do for each other to really work with each other. Because
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of businesses have closed because they can't make it.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's the
true.
scary thing.
That is, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of businesses here, ones that we used to frequent, that are no longer in operation, which is pretty sad. So hopefully they'll be able to make it back after everything kind of calms down. But I think the biggest thing too that you've been able to do, what I love, is just kind of getting creative and getting really imaginative, figuring
Yeah,
out, okay, what can I do to kind of, switch this around temporarily and just kind of make it work. So I love
exactly.
that. Yeah. I think that was about it. I think we pretty much touched on anything. Is there anything else that you want to add?
um, my thing is, if you ever want to go for anything, just do it,
Yeah.
because it's never the perfect time. And it sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Sometimes you really just have to go out on faith and just say, you know what, I don't know how it's going to work, but I believe in it, and you just got to push for it. That's the
Absolutely.
biggest thing I could give to anybody that ever wants to do anything.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. And I'm going to drop Sam's links down in the description box for you guys so you guys can check it out. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening in on my chat with Samantha. I thought it was just a really important video to do because, as we mentioned before, there's not a lot of resources out there for true small businesses that are just kind of looking for ways to reinvent themselves and continue moving on through this pandemic. So it was really important for me to do the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I dropped Samantha's links down in the description box, so definitely check her out. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.